It reminded me of a question that somebody asked a Taoist monk in Wutang Mountain, where they also practice the Taoist martial arts. And so the person asked, how is it possible, like you're a monk? How can you reconcile the fact of being devoted to the Tao, to the divine, being a compassionate human being, with the martial arts aspect? So the monk replied, he said, see, if somebody is beating you up, is hurting you, he's doing you a great, great service. Because actually by doing this, he's purifying your karma. So he's giving you a great, great gift. But it may be that for you this gift is just too much. And in that case, you are not obliged to accept the gift. You can give it back. So what I liked a lot in this answer is that it recognizes different levels that different human beings are on. And if you're on a very high level, you may be able, and that may be what you really have to do, it may be not only your karma, but your dharma, to completely forgive. Jesus, when he was put on the cross, that's what he said, Father, forgive them. It's not even him who forgives, he said, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing. There are some very beautiful people, very empathic, compassionate, loving people, for whom forgiveness is an important value, and who get abused by people. And sometimes over years, like in those relationships that I mentioned in my first answer to you. And sometimes the discourse which is given to them is like, oh, just take it, and you have to see the good side of that person, and also the loving aspect, and you cannot reduce that person to this and so on. And so what happens is that sometimes these people then confuse a healthy assertiveness with being a mean person because they don't want to forgive, or because they don't want to close the eye on what is wrong. So basically what I'm trying to say, maybe like the ideal, I very much agree. But sometimes how do we put it into practice? And how are we sometimes not allowing people to get aware of the situations, grow, make the distinctions of what is right, what is wrong, and so on? Because in a certain way we kind of force them into a forgiveness which they don't think so much about, and which then is not a real forgiveness.